Hey everyone, this is Ryan B with Practical Forex Trading, and this is your weekly analysis for the Euro Yen. So the European Euro versus the Japanese Yen. As you can see here on my weekly chart, my sentiment is bearish. We'll go ahead and pull on these pivot points and then we'll get started. Make sure if you want to stay up to date with all of our Euro Yen analysis, you click that subscribe button right in the lower right hand bottom corner of the screen here. Okay. I need to pull these in because once I go to the daily, it will be hard to see these. But just to start off with, we can see our long-term descending triangle on the Euro Yen, where price is now falling away from the resistance line, this bottom of this triangle, looking to make some new lows. And let's go ahead and look at our daily. So we see Friday was a very bearish day. Price really pushing away from this short-term resistance. After a very bullish end of last week, or sorry, the prior week, last week, things just turned around, fell back down. So we see I have our pivot at 120.41, so price right below where price is sitting now, which just means to me that throughout Sunday, early Monday, price could kind of float around there and gain a little bit more steam before the downtrend continues. That's our pivot. Now we see R1 at 120.89. So right here, that makes sense, right? So we see our last high. If we zoom in, last week, that last high it made, right, then was rejected. That was like our last little rally. So that's where our first resistance is. Here's our pivot, first resistance. Now the pivot point can be a point of resistance, but that's really dependent on the price action. Since price was rejected right through that line, as long as this day doesn't actually come back up and go above it, the sell is still on. So we've got R2 at 121.04. So we're at, oh sorry, 121.64. So about here, if there was a political event or some kind of data release, you could see price spike up to there. We've got our first support at 119.66, so price is poised to kind of just fall another good 50 pips or so. But we do see some short-term support there. You see back in the fall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times price stalled out there. Now, because of the rejection price has been getting, I think we should see some good descending action, but you never know. Here we've got S2 at 119.17, so we could see a little bit more support there. Then we've got 117.94. Basically, if it breaks out of S2, it's going to shoot down for some new lows here. Let's go back to our weekly, and I want to draw a parallel trend channel. My parallel trend channel tool. Oops. That one didn't work out so good. Let's try that again. Okay, so I want to match the angle of my ultimate peaks, right? And click again, and I'm going to drag this down. And we can see, if we make this our channel, that price was in this channel for a while. And it's not an exact science, right? Price can go shoot above it and then below it, but you see the these candles keep closing below this line. Even here, when it poked above it, it was quickly rejected the very next week. And so now we see price moving below that channel. So if we go back to our daily, refresh it, there we go. We see as long as price stays below this, so even if we were to go all the way to R1, that's still a sell. Now, if we want to do think about like day trading, we go to our 4 hour, and I'm going to draw one more parallel trend channel. So here's our pivot. So the aspect ratio changes when you change time frames in these charts, but the lines stay. Let's go ahead and draw one more parallel trend channel, because I want to know when's my next good spot to buy in. Okay. It's like right about there. going to change the color of this, and this is my near-term trend channel. And the reason I picked these lines is because the bodies of these candles here kept closing above it, and they broke below it, then popped back through it, and now they got rejected again. So I'm thinking any kind of pullback to this 120.20 mark is a good opportunity for me to get in and sell it down to 119.65. And then I'm going to be putting my stops below the last, or sorry, above the last high at this R1 of this 120.89. If I just put my fast moving average on here, this is my simple moving average, and I make it for 20. We see historically when that happens that it's typically a good sell. Now look at here, price back in January 17th, price broke below the 4 hour, just like we're seeing now, continued down, but then spiked back up and then touched it, but that was just, once again, a good sell. So even at this point, if, as this week rolls out, if price were to spike up a little bit and touch my moving descending moving average, even better. Right, then that makes it even better sell, or I can get a better entry point. So here, this is how we look at in our short term. So if price, so the market opens today and Sunday, if price kind of just hangs out below this shelf here at 120.23, and the hourly moving average, the fast catches up with it, then I'll be looking to enter my sell. And in that case, I'd put my stop right above the 120.40 mark, because then if price is going to kick back and give me an even better entry, then I really would rather do that. I'm not a big fan of holding positions as they go negative, even in the short term. So that would be my pullback point to enter and then possibly stop out. All right, well, good luck this week. I hope you make lots of pips. Make sure you stay up to date with all of our weekly videos, and we'll talk soon.